Hi, my name is Chris Lyon and I'm Student Recruitment Officer for Degree Apprenticeships at Manchester Metropolitan University. Today's session is going to give you an overview of degree apprenticeships. Okay, so just to cover what I'm going to look at in today's session, I'll quickly go through the different levels of apprenticeships that you can do. What is a degree apprenticeship and how do they work? The specific benefits of degree apprenticeships and also the support that is available, particularly at Manchester Met. And then I'll touch briefly on the application process for degree apprenticeships and how it differs to the UCAS application process for university. Okay, so as you can see on the screen here, there are actually 4 types of apprenticeships that you can do: intermediate, advanced, higher, and degree apprenticeship. A degree apprenticeship involves gaining a university degree while you work. This apprenticeship is a level 6 qualification, so this is equivalent to a bachelor's degree. Okay, so what are degree apprenticeships? They are ultimately an opportunity for you to gain significant industry experience whilst also achieving a full honours degree through university. Degree apprenticeships are structured in the same way as any other apprenticeship, where the apprentice will spend 80% of their time working in full-time employment and then are released for 20% of their time to complete off-the-job training through Manchester Met and self-study in order to achieve a full honours degree. Okay, so degree apprenticeships are generally 4-year programmes, and the entry requirements at Manchester Met are approximately 104 to 112 UCAS tariff points. You will also need to have achieved grade 4 or C at GCSE Maths and English. There are a wide range of subject areas that have degree apprenticeships on offer, and you can see a range of them on the slide here. However, it's important to point out that not all universities offer degree apprenticeship programmes, and those that do may only offer a limited range of subjects. I will talk more about the Manchester Met offer in detail a little later on in the presentation. There are several benefits to choosing the degree apprenticeship route and choosing to do a degree apprenticeship with Manchester Met. The first of these is that there are no tuition fees associated with degree apprenticeships. Apprentices' fees for their university courses are either paid for by their employer or by the government. Not only this, but students on these routes also get paid a salary, and at Manchester Met we only work with employers who pay over £12,000 a year, and on average our apprentices tend to earn significantly more than that figure. But the main motivator for you wanting to do a degree apprenticeship should be that you are interested in the opportunity to gain significant employment experience, but also build up a connection with an employer over the course of a programme and gain that university qualification as well. These apprenticeship opportunities are particularly good for those who consider themselves practical learners, as apprenticeships contextualise learning. So that just means that students on these apprenticeship programmes may learn a concept at the university and then be able to apply it when they return to the workplace. And in addition to this, apprenticeships are a fantastic opportunity for fast career progression. Okay, so how do degree apprenticeships work in practice? I spoke at the start of the session about the fact that the degree apprenticeship is run on an 80-20 split. So 80% of the time the apprentice spends in the workplace, and then 20% of the time the apprentice is released to study at the university. So our apprentices at Manchester Met attend the university around 30 days per year. At the university, students will be assessed through various different assignments, many of which will be work-based projects that ultimately will link back to the job that they are doing. Some employers may choose to offer study time to apprentices. However, these are very challenging routes and students will be expected to be able to balance full-time work and part-time study. So degree apprentices receive great support from both their employer and the university throughout the course of the programme. When apprentices attend the university, they will study alongside other apprentices. So this is an opportunity for them to expand their social network and share best practice. Apprentices on the programme are also supported by academic lecturers and programme leaders. Apprentices are also active members of the Students' Union at the university and are eligible to participate in union activities such as sports clubs and societies. Degree apprentices are also supported by a unique function called a skills coach. This is a dedicated tutor from the university who supports the apprentice and ensures that they are progressing well and are pastorally well supported throughout the process of their apprenticeship. Apprentices will also have a workplace mentor. This is somebody within the employer who they can turn to ask questions of and also to gain extra support throughout the course of their apprenticeship. It's also worth noting that Transport for Greater Manchester can sometimes offer support to Manchester Met degree apprentices, so it's worth looking into this to see if you are eligible if you do secure an apprenticeship. Okay, so on this slide you will see the various courses that we offer at Manchester Metropolitan University. And the first of these degree apprenticeships is Chartered Manager. This route allows apprentices to develop to become professional and capable management practitioners. And as you'll see on the slide, there is also a route that specifically focuses on management within retail. We also offer a degree apprenticeship in digital and technology solutions. This apprenticeship is there to equip apprentices with the necessary skills needed for a career in the digital and technology sectors, such as software engineering or IT consultancy. We also offer a degree apprenticeship in digital marketing. This apprenticeship seeks to equip apprentices with the ability to create and execute digital marketing strategies for their employer. We've also added to our portfolio of degree apprenticeships and added digital user experience or digital UX. This is an opportunity for apprentices to become confident user experience professionals and to be able to investigate, analyse and understand the experience that people have when interacting with digital products and services. Our most recent apprenticeship that we have introduced is Healthcare Science. And with the Healthcare Science degree apprenticeship, it is designed to allow apprentices to develop the knowledge and clinical skills needed to register as a healthcare science practitioner in one of 4 specialist fields, and those are cardiac physiology, neurophysiology, respiratory systems and sleep physiology. And for those of you who are more science-based, more chemical science-based, we do offer a degree apprenticeship in laboratory science. And this is an opportunity for those who are interested in chemical science to develop as a confident and capable science professional. And finally, we offer a retail leadership degree apprenticeship programme. This is ideal for store managers and supervisors, area and regional managers who are looking to develop the transferable skills required to progress their careers. Okay, so you can see on this slide the career paths that lead from these particular apprenticeships. So it's worth noting here that all of these programs tend to be quite vocational courses, so they do tend to lead to a specific career. So it is really important that if you do choose one of these degree apprenticeship programs, you are sure that you can see yourself in that career and that you have a passion for the subject and that you can see yourself in that particular career for the long term. Okay, so employers offering degree apprenticeships. On the slide, you can see a selection of some of the employers we have worked with to provide degree apprenticeships at Manchester Met. And we have worked with over 400 providers to offer these opportunities. So you can see there are some really prestigious companies that you may have the chance to work with. It's worth noting here not to focus just on one employer as you're going through the application process. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Try and think of at least 2 or 3 employers who you would be really interested in working with to potentially do a degree apprenticeship. Make sure you do as much research on the particular employer as well and what that particular job role is with that employer. Okay, so just going into a bit of detail about the application process for degree apprenticeships. So as a starting point, there are some useful sites which will be useful for you just in regards to searching for vacancies. So this first website is the gov.uk apprenticeships section. So you can put in your personal details, you can search for job titles or different kinds of jobs, filter down things like location as well, and start looking at what vacancies are arising. This gov.uk section, this is for all apprenticeships, so not just degree apprenticeships, but the different levels of apprenticeships as well. If you do have a particular interest in applying for a degree apprenticeship, then here is a selection of useful sites. So not just for searching for vacancies, but also for looking at things like case studies from current degree apprentices. You can have a look at what it's actually like on a day-to-day basis to be a degree apprentice. Okay, so going into a bit more detail now on the application process. So the degree apprenticeship application process differs significantly from the application process for standard undergraduate degrees at the university. Those applying for degree apprenticeships will not apply through UCAS, but rather will apply directly with our partner employers. The application process may differ from employer to employer, as they will define what the recruitment process looks like for their individual organisation. However, on this slide you can see the ways in which you may be asked to apply. The first stage of the process is often a written application, usually a CV and cover letter or online application form. If a student is successful at this stage, then they may be invited to a telephone interview or asked to complete a psychometric test. Most employers will also utilise assessment centres to assess a candidate's suitability for the apprenticeship. The process often culminates in an interview where an applicant is able to talk about their skills and experience and show that they are suitable for the role before appointment. It's worth noting here that degree apprenticeships can be particularly popular and very competitive. It is a really competitive application process, so we would advise that you do remain resilient throughout. So that is really important. Of course, we hope that many of you will go on to apply for a degree apprenticeship with Manchester Met. A great starting point is to register for alerts for new vacancies, and you can see the link there on the screen. This means that you will receive regular updates regarding what vacancies are coming up. It's vital that you continue to do your research, so visit our website and employer websites as well. The peak vacancy time tends to be from March to June. However, we do have vacancies that are coming up throughout the year as well. Step 3 will actually be to make your application. So as I've just indicated, processes do vary, but they usually involve a CV, cover letter, online application form, and then potentially an assessment centre and or interview. Then we hope that many of you will be successful and you will sign a contract with an employer setting out the terms of the apprenticeship. Then it's only after that that you would do a separate university application. This is not a UCAS application. This is just an application with the university, so in this case Manchester Met, just confirming that you are enrolling onto your course, onto your 20% off the job training. This usually takes place a few months before you start. And then finally, you will begin your apprenticeship. So you will start with an induction week, you'll get an introduction to the course and meet other degree apprentices as well. Okay, thanks very much for listening to today's session. If you do have any questions, please feel free to email apprenticeships@mmu.ac.uk.